You're live with ArchieLuxury and Clyde. Today we're talking wristwatches. And Clyde, I want to tell you, does buying wristwatches cure depression? Because I've bought a few and I ain't very fucking happy, Clyde. I ain't that happy at the moment in my life. I bought the World Time as an up. I bought the IWC. What am I doing wrong, Clyde? Talk to me. Talk to me, big boy. Talk to me, big boy.
Well, I kind of, who's calling who big boy here, big boy? The, well, I don't know. For me, part of the getting watches, it's the thrill of the hunt. So to me, it's almost, well, besides the fact you can be overpaying or paying used retail, there's no fun in chasing it down. Oh, dear God, it's going to be one of those podcasts.
The thrill of the cunt. That's been the downfall of my life. The thrill of the cunt. You know?
Hunt. With
cunt.
an H.
Yes, yes, I know the cunt. They are a very nasty fucking thing. Clyde, I wanted to talk to you. You've been doing some very stupid fucking things. You bought that stupid fucking fake. You bought that fake fucking Panerai after I told you not to. And,
you mean the homage?
Yes.
Well, no, it's not. It's not a fake. It doesn't try to. It doesn't say Panerai or even Militia Militaire on it. Everywhere that's on the watch says DeVos.
Cheers, fuckers. Cheers. Cheers, fuckers.
Cheers.
What do you think of the, I'm going to be honest with you, Clyde, I have been a little bit disappointed with you.
Okay.
You're looking at another Panerai. That's a dumb move. Why would you do that?
Well, it is. Well, you know, it's like the left brain versus right brain decision. It's, well, you know, limited. It's the Panerai 61. It was only in production for 2 years. There was only a few thousand made of them. They were so popular that Panerai did a reissue of them out of range for like 4 years later for like extra special, you know, extra special VIPs and everything. And there's not any of them really sold. You can't find them on, you really can't find them for sale anywhere. So, you know, the left brain is, or, you know, the logical part saying, well, actually that has an element of rarity to it. The price isn't bad. So I'm thinking, it's, on the other hand, the watch doesn't really speak to me emotionally.
I reckon you should buy a fucking IWC, big boy. This is what you need on your wrist, an IWC.
Well, true, but on the other hand, so I need an anti-magnetic watch. Basically, is what you're saying, right?
You got a white Milgauss, haven't you? Hey, you're going to pull out there, aren't you?
Okay, yeah, I was going to.
Yeah, yeah. Pull it out, bring it out, show it to the audience.
You know, I hope he's not going to make a video about that. I mean, it's just, yeah, I'm holding it apparently.
And tell me this, do you think I made a mistake buying an IWC? Tell me truthfully, what do you think?
I hadn't, I mean, I've heard of the Milgauss. I've barely heard of IWC. I have never heard of the Ingenieur.
Mm-hmm.
So, I know they've been making them forever, but yeah, I mean, maybe if you got a really, really big bargain on it, possibly, but
There was no bargain here. There was no bargain here, big boy.
So you're saying I shouldn't get you're saying just stick with my zero and don't get any more PAMs.
That's what I've been trying to tell you.
Okay, I want to ask you another 5 times, but okay. I don't know what. All right. Yeah, I was kind of thinking about that. I danced with the devil once and came out on top. I may not be so lucky next time. Bought used and wound up with a real one.
I got to tell you, why would you buy another one? I thought we told you buy one and stay away from the fucking things.
Well, you never said, but well, you mentioned it just now, and I did talk about before I bought it. I did talk to you about before I bought another one. I kind of like. I mean, my Zero is a sausage dial, and I was thinking it'd be kind of nice to also have a sandwich one. The two major types, check and check. And really, the PAM 61 is the same thing as the 111 that you like. It's just that it's rare. It's titanium, and it's a tobacco dial.
I do love the tobacco dial. What do you think of it?
Well, it's logically it makes sense. It just doesn't really speak to me emotionally. That, I mean, then again, some watches you have to kind of check out in the flesh. That's why it's, you know, it's the heart versus head, a little bit torn. And just the fact that it's the fact that they're asking under value, probably by $2,000, also appeals to me because, well, you know, it's just,
why is it so undervalued? Why is it so cheap? Why is he selling it so cheap?
Well, I think the original band, the Crocodile Band, has some damage to it.
So what?
But that's not. Well, yeah, big deal. Get another one. I could go to Dallas and get another one for like a couple $100. And it could. It has the box. It has the warranty card, but doesn't have complete papers on it. That could be another. That might be.
What doesn't it have?
Well, it has the warranty. It has the pamphlets.
Mm-hmm.
It has the warranty card. It just doesn't have the accreditation or the chronometer or anything else like that that a Panerai normally does. Apparently, it was sold out of London's Jewellers in December of 2001, I believe.
Is that right?
Yeah. The watch was only made for 2 years.
Are you going to grab it or not?
I don't know. I might be. I think.
How much?
Might be really say what? Got in touch with the seller and said, take it to your jeweler, pop off the. You know, it has a solid case back on it, like the PAM Zero, and take a picture of the movement and send it to me.
And what did he say?
He said, "Yeah, no problem. I can't do that until Monday."
I see.
Yeah, but it's not. It's so far between that and the PAM Zero, I like the Zero because it's still, you know, it's the quintessential Panerai. On the other hand, it's just like, you know, boy, that's a bargain. Those are really, everything I read says that they're very, very hard to get. You really can't hardly find any on special. And when you do, they're at least $200 or $2,500 more.
So why is he selling it so cheap? Just because of the fucking strap and the fucking papers?
Yeah.
Tell me this. What the fuck happened with that fucking Submariner deal, the 16800 you're looking at? What the fuck went on there?
Well, I think the old boy is probably, I mean, he's claiming that he sold dipshit to get down to my office, and it took him 2 hours to drive 20 miles. Driving around, got lost a couple of times. Actually, not on drug charges, believe it or not, this time.
Who's that? Who's that? Sorry, who is this?
Oh, intake. I was waiting on an intake to come by.
What's an intake? So what's an intake?
Where they come by, tell you about the case, you ask them questions, you take notes, and they pay you money.
Mm-hmm.
It's like an intake at a doctor's office or signing up, enrolling with a doctor.
And what, he didn't turn up?
He turned up late. They often do.
How late?
Hour and a half late.
Did you charge him for that?
Mm, I call that a PETA surcharge.
And why was he late? What the fuck's his problem?
Not for my, well, I actually kind of liked the guy once I started talking to him, but I think he's just a little bit of a doofus. Likeable doofus.
He likes drugs, but doesn't he?
What?
He does drugs?
No, he doesn't.
Oh.
No. Bunch of health problems. Older guy, VPO violation that was originally filed against him like 7 years ago. So
What's a VPO violation? What's that?
Protective order, victim's protective order. A do not disturb. Don't call me, don't write me, do not show up, don't, you know.
Oh, how did he get that against him?
Well, evidently this gal filed a restraining order against him.
What
a restraining order. Violating a restraining order. It's a misdemeanor when you do it the first time.
It's a misdemeanor. Second time?
Well, actually, it's a misdemeanor the second time.
How many?
It's just a misdemeanor.
Is it a misdemeanor against the? How many misdemeanors do you get before they say, "Hey, you're a nutcase"?
Well, it's just like anything else. They can throw you in the county jail for a year on a misdemeanor conviction, which where I'm from is arguably worse than prison. The jail is horrible.
Why is that?
Yeah. It's overcrowded. The conditions are just bad. You're basically on lock. It's so overcrowded that you're basically on lockdown like 20 hours out of the day.
Now, I've heard in California, they've got a prison, I think it's in Vegas, which is like a 10-story building.
I can't remember how many stories Oklahoma County is, but it's like 7 or 8. Anyway, but he showed up late, finally got the job.
Is he going to go to jail?
No, basically, he was saying I was never served with a protective order. They knocked on my brother's door and handed him a paper. It's like, well, did you live there? No. Have you ever lived there? No. Well, that's not service. So if it's an invalid, you cannot violate an invalid protective order.
And you've argued this point?
Huh?
You've argued this point?
No, that's a matter of law. For it to be effective, it has to be served in the same manner as a civil lawsuit does. Also with a subpoena, you either have to serve it personally, you have to serve it certified mail, restricted delivery, return receipt requested, or you have to serve someone at the residence over the age of 14. And they tried to go for the last one and they missed. They got lazy. They just evidently his brother was on the phone book and he wasn't. You know, he had constructive notice, yes, but he wasn't served with it.
I see. Geez, I love it. I'd like to have you as a lawyer representing me.
Oh, it's just common sense, really.
You're pretty good.
But now, of course, I wouldn't say a damn word about constructive notice, but also he had a lot of health problems and a lot of memory issues. So not to mention, finally, the damn thing is 7 years old. It's a 7-year-old protective order. And finally, since that time, anyway, the guy was late, so I finally got in touch with Dallas Subboy, and he's like, oh, I just sold it. Really? Yeah. Of course, he knew that if I was going to meet him down there was a prerequisite to handing over cash would be to meet at a jeweler's to have the sub verified or authenticated. So I kind of think he was scamming and just didn't want to follow the playthrough, to its bitter end. So it's a bit of a disappointment. Then again, you can't really celebrate the thrill of the hunt unless you occasionally have to suffer a couple of fails.
Jesus Christ, that's amazing.
Well, and at least he told me up front instead of waiting until I hit the Texas border. So, not driving 7 hours is all right.
And tell me this.
So you're saying I shouldn't get the PAM number 2?
No. I don't know why you don't buy a cheap apartment in Oklahoma.
Well, it's a condominium if you buy it, technically.
Would you do that or not?
Possibly, but maybe not right now. Still later on.
You need more watches. Once you get a fucking Patek, Clyde, you need a fucking Patek, not this fucking Panerai garbage. You need a fucking Patek, big boy. That's what you need to fucking get.
What kind of Patek? Don't tell me a world time. You're about to say world time?
No. 5196 is what you need, big boy.
And which one's the 5196? The Calatrava?
Manual wine, Calatrava, no date. Perfect.
Hmm.
I reckon for you, that'd be the one to get. It'd suit you to a T.
What's the size on it?
39, 38. I saw 38 mil, I think. Around that.
Decent.
Decent. Very fucking decent. Anything over 37 is decent. What do you think for you, Clyde?
Yeah, I like...
I reckon you need a Patek. Why don't you fucking get one?
Well, I'll have to keep an eye out for one.
It could suit you to a T. You know what I mean? They're just fucking cool.
Well, and actually one of the things I liked about the Panerais, I don't see a lot of guys in Oklahoma City with Panerais. A lot of Rolexes, but maybe a Panerai would be a good way to upstage a little bit. Like, good point.
Yeah. I know what you're saying, but I think you really need a Patek. You've always wanted a Patek, haven't you?
No, I've heard of them once or twice, but I never really knew anything about them until I started watching the channel.
You're going to get some finance. You're going to ring up and get a finance, right? And then you're going to get a Patek.
If I'm going to buy it, I'm going to pay cash for it.
What's wrong with a bit of easy credit?
I used to do consumer debt collection.
Yes.
Easy credit, yeah. Not to mention being self-employed, you know. Sometimes the money can just turn off.
You're a top lawyer. Why would it ever turn off? You're a fucking legal.
Because the economy's kind of down where I'm at, and people generally have to pay money.
Yeah, but when the economy's down, you get more work. You get more work because these losers get themselves into trouble.
That's true. There's never a shortage in that, but they have to have the money to pay the money. So,
Clyde, I'm going to show you what I'm talking about because you need to be taught a lesson in horology. This is what you need to be buying, Clyde. Look at this. Here we go. Here, look at this. We're going to search by price. Tell me what you think of these fuckers. 519. Don't forget the Russians. They're as dodgy as sin.
Right.
13, 14,000. Look at these pieces here, Clyde. That's what you fucking need. You need a you need a classic Calatrava manual wine. Why can't you get that one for yourself, Clyde?
Well, I'll have to keep an eye out. I'll have to hunt for it.
It would suit you to a T. Look at this, 15,000. These are as sexy as they come, Clyde. This is what you need. This will give you fulfillment in your life. You understand or not?
Kind of like the world time that you're selling?
I don't know if I want to sell it yet, Clyde.
Well, the trouble is the Calatrava. It's a beautiful watch, but I don't know how much need I'd have for just a dress watch, though.
Look at this, Clyde. Wouldn't this suit you? Look at this fucker. It's gorgeous. It's got your name written all over the finance papers.
Ain't gonna be no finance papers.
So how can you get out of consumer credit debt if you've got problems?
Well, first of all, how do you get out of the hole?
Stop digging.
Yeah. pretty much. And
were people fucked over?
oh yeah, people are always fucked over. There's always winners and losers. And a lot of times it was, sometimes human frailty, sometimes it was unavoidable calamity, and some one of the two. Well, probably.
How bad was it?
Say again?
How bad was it with these people who didn't pay? Why didn't they pay their debts?
Because they couldn't pay. They couldn't pay their debts.
You're in the South. These are good, law-abiding fuckers.
Sometimes people had problems. They made purchases they shouldn't have.
Can they return the goods?
Generally, that depends upon the contract with the merchant. Depends upon the types of goods that they bought.
He doesn't really want it back, does he?
No, not really. It's because,
he's been paid by the financier. He doesn't care.
Right. Well, as my favorite thing, as one of my favorite things was, it's just like, well, we got divorced, and my husband was supposed to pay that, the co-signer. And one of my favorite lines was, "Ma'am, I'm sorry, but you divorced him, not us." You can sue him, and you can sue him for contempt in divorce court. But if he doesn't have the money either, it's not going to do anything. It's not going to do you any good.
And what sort of things did they buy with this shit?
Well, it depends. I think working for Stephen Bruce, Sears Roebuck was a big client, so it would just be all sorts of stuff. Sometimes Bank of Oklahoma defaulting on loans.
How could they do that?
Huh?
How could they default on loans?
You quit making the payments. That's how you default on a loan. That's the most common way.
Give me your worst credit story. Give me the worst credit story you had.
God, I can't remember what it was. Little dumpy ass county seat up in north central Oklahoma,
and
it was a dump. It looked like Oklahoma's version of Detroit.
Yep.
Run down, just dumpy. Oh, just horrible, horrible little place. I'd have to look at a map to remember what the name was.
Yep. Okay.
And this woman, loan, I think it may have been from the undertaker, and buried her mother and then defaulted on the loan.
Undertaker.
Yeah. Guess we're representing an undertaker or someone that provided credit by or through the undertaker. Yep. And it's just like, I mean, it's you can always do a little bit of professional detachment. It's just basically, it's a numbers game. Do what you can, but it's just like, wow. You sorry sack. I mean, it's just like you. And of course, what would they do? Are they just going to dig the dead mother up, throw her, haul her out to the? No, obviously not. That was probably the worst one.
And what was her reason for it?
I can't. Well, it's usually I can't. I don't have the money. But it's funny though. You'd get a judgment against somebody, and then you'd hit them with a hearing on assets, where they have to show up, bring all their financial paperwork, and answer questions about their financial status.
Yes.
If they don't show up, the order to show up for the hearing on assets is an order signed by a judge, so it's contempt.
I see.
So if they don't show up, if you got personal service on the hearing on assets, and if the client would authorize it, you can ask the judge for a bench warrant because it's a violation of a court order.
I see.
It's kind of funny how Mr. I don't have any money, I can't pay, once he spends the night in the county jail, can shit $20 bills like an ATM. Funny how that works.
You're joking, aren't you?
No, I'm not. When there's a will, there's a way, and people are highly motivated to get out of jail. So they'd have.
Is the county jail that bad?
It's horrible. Run down. I actually think they kind of use it to their advantage.
It's that bad.
Yeah, if I was in the Oklahoma County jail for like
in there?
Horrible, the literally the cheapest they can do and get away with it.
They have any salted caramel ice cream in there?
We're talking bologna sandwiches.
I see.
And not even pimento bologna. I'm talking like convict bologna.
Is that bad?
No chocolate caramel brownie batter either.
I see.
To anticipate your next question.
Clyde, you need to get a paddock. That's what you need to fucking do. I'm showing you one on the screen here, Clyde. I'm showing you one on the screen. You don't seem to be listening. This is what you need. This will make you happy in life, Clyde. Do you understand that or not?
I hear what you're saying.
You need to buy one. That's it. You need to fucking pull the finger out and get one. That's what's going to make you happy in life.
Well, it'd take me a little bit of, it'd be a bit of a long-term goal, but why not? I guess it might be a little bit more productive than chasing down dodgy Rolexes in Dallas.
Yes, I know what you're saying. I think that's what you need. That'll make you happy and fulfilled as a man.
Yeah, I was thinking possibly firearms, if maybe find a nice Lee Enfield Model 4.
Get a Calatrava. You don't need to buy it.
I'll give up on the Panerais and I'll start looking for a Calatrava.
Thank you, Clyde. Please, would you do that for me? Promise me?
I will do that for you.
I reckon that's going to make you much more happier as a person. You'll be balanced.
Well, it'd be a nice long-term goal to work towards. And I'm not going to flip any watches to raise the money for it either. Flippers are failures. Actually,
Clyde,
I'm still quite. Yeah.
Tell me this. You also did some. So this is as a lawyer, you were doing debt recovery, were you?
Yeah.
Do you have a sheriff's in Oklahoma? Like, can they do a sheriff's warrant where they go and seize goods from a person's home?
Replevant. That's not really per se, unless it's pursuant to bankruptcy, possibly.
In Oklahoma, can you go bankrupt and keep your house?
You can. They had a major overhaul of the bankruptcy laws back in 2008, so they're trying to force everyone into Chapter 13 bankruptcy or wage earner bankruptcy. You'd still have to continue making the payments on your house. You would just, other secured creditors would get their securities back, and even with Chapter 7, though, you can always reaffirm debts and keep the collateral of stuff you want to keep. Assuming you've got the assets to satisfy.
Is bankruptcy a good way to go in America, or you would really strongly advise against it?
Well, it's an option of last resort. You're basically turning your fate over to a low-level federal official, more or less.
Why don't you listen to me and stop buying these fucking Panerais? Can I ask you that?
I just told you I was not going to get into the other Panerai.
Okay.
And I told you I was going to start looking for a Patek.
I think that'll make you happy in life. You know this? It'll make you fulfilled as a man.
Really? I don't think you mentioned that before.
Yeah, it'll make you fulfilled as a man, Clyde.
Then why are you showing me a picture of a 2010 Jaguar?
You don't like that 2010 Jaguar? What do you think of it? This is how bad. This car is 31,000 in Australia. How much would you get that in America for?
I don't know. I'd have to look it up. And quite frankly, it's almost midnight here.
You don't like Jaguars?
They're all right, but a car is a depreciating. I mean, a car is a depreciating asset.
Mm.
You want to put your watches, if you choose and buy well, are appreciating assets.
You're right. You're right, Clive. You're exactly right. This is what you should be buying is wristwatches. What aims do you have horologically speaking? Are you looking for fulfillment as a person? What are you looking for? What do wristwatches do for you?
I guess it's the hunt. We talked about that.
The hunt. Yes, we did. It's not so much the purchasing, it's the hunt.
It's fine. Yeah, the thrill of the hunt. That's why to me, going to something like going to a jeweler is almost.
But tell me this: in where you are in Oklahoma, is there many Rolexes there? Tell me this.
Yeah, there is. There's a place where Watches Etc. right by the office that has tons of Rolexes. Probably
expensive?
One of the biggest. I think he's a little proud of them. I think he'd rather sit around his little office and look at all his pretty little Rolexes and the display cases all day than actually sell one.
Oh shit, that's terrible.
Well, yeah, but the thing is, I also found out is that he's also got a deal with all the pawn shops. I found that did some looking and asking around. So the deal he has is that all the local pawn shops, he will verify if someone wants to pawn a watch,
Yep.
a Rolex, he'll verify if it's authentic or not.
Oh, I see.
And the deal he has with them, he provides that service free of charge, and they say, well, if we'll pawn it, and if you want to sell it, you need to go to him.
I see.
So clever. I have to hand it to him. That's a clever way to do it. So he's kind of got his finger in everyone's pie.
I see.
On the other hand, the service he provides is if these people have these other pawn shops have a Rolex on their shelves, then it's been authenticated.
Oh, I see.
Once they don't play ball with them, you're kind of.
I'm just having a look here. Oklahoma. What state is that? What state is that? That's
Oklahoma. The state is Oklahoma.
Launton, Northwest, Oklahoma City. Oklahoma City. I'm just going to do a search. I'm going to see what's available on Craigslist as we speak.
There's not diddly in Oklahoma City. You'll have to go to Dallas or possibly Fort Smith.
Okay. A few people are looking for watches there.
Oh, they're a little dear, and I can't explain why that is. It's probably because I guess there's not a whole lot of them. So, supply and demand. There's not that many Rolexes being offered. They tend to be higher. Dallas is the happy hunting ground.
Ah, Dallas. I see. Someone's got a nice C5 for sale in Oklahoma. Won't you buy that, Clyde?
A what?
Too slow, Oklahoma, C5 Corvette.
Tulsa. You've never heard of Tulsa? You've really never heard of Tulsa, Oklahoma? Really? Okay.
He's got a Corvette. He's got a gun. He's got some cool stuff here. Rolex. That's what you want to buy, Clyde. Rolex in Oklahoma City.
No, I'd want to look for
There's a gold
Rolex.
Submariner. He wants 20,000. Fuck me dead.
Yeah, there's not that many of them, so they're a little dear.
It's a little bit over polished. I don't like how he's done it.
There's also like another President for 8,500 that had a lot of work done with it.
Actually, that subs 20,000 is a bit high, but Clyde, that's
exactly. That's why I don't look in Tulsa.
That's fucking.
I want to make sure I understand. So you're saying I should not get the Panerai?
Yes, that's correct. I think. So whereabouts do you look? You look Dallas, don't you? Dallas.
Dallas or Fort Smith, but usually Dallas.
Having a look in Dallas at the moment. They got an Explorer 2 for $42.50.
I've told you the prices are going up on them. That's the cheapest one they've got.
Gold Daytona, he wants 20 grand. Fuck.
Yeah.
Prices aren't that cheap.
I told you how much I got mine for, right? My poor Explorer.
Wow, that's amazing.
Well, it looks like all my acquisitions, it looks like they've gone up in value in a relatively short time. So, you know, I'm kind of happy. Yep.
There's a two-tone Submariner for $2,700 there.
Yep.
That's good buying, isn't it?
Well, the guy claims he's in New York City. He's not going to be back in Dallas until late May. So I'm like, okay, which is scam central. So it's like, tell you what, just call me when you're back in town. I'll be here.
Oh, I see. What's you're saying he's not 100%.
He's not anywhere close to 100%.
I see. You've seen that. You've seen that. Okay.
Doesn't smell right.
Yeah, gee, they're quite expensive, aren't they?
Some of them are, but something. On the other hand, you just monitor and look.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. That's an interesting way to go.
Not to mention, then go to In-N-Out Burger while I'm over there. You've got your airport chicken. I've got In-N-Out Burger.
In-N-Out Burger. I got my airport. Yes, you like my airport chicken?
No, it looks vile. It looks disgusting.
You don't like that burger?
No. Well, it's not a burger. It doesn't have horns. It's not a burger. It's a chicken sandwich.
Okay.
Burgers are beef.
Okay.
And things that claim to be beef. That's neither one.
It's chicken burger. You don't believe in a chicken burger? No,
I believe in a chicken sandwich.
Oh.
If that's what you tell yourself to eat it, fine. Whatever. But I actually sent you a picture when I got the note. When I got the Sea Dweller, I stopped and I was about to dig in, and I sent you a picture of it, I believe. And I normally don't do that because I looked down at the picture at In-N-Out Burger looked like an advertisement anywhere else. It was just almost food porn. It was perfect. It was unbelievably perfect. I was like, this almost can't be real. It looks so good. But it was.
It tasted good?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Beef burger. Where was this from?
In-N-Out Burger.
This is I see.
Yeah,
how much was that?
Fries and a drink, maybe like $7.
And what happened to those ribeye steaks you bought the other day?
I still have them.
They're in the freezer?
Yes. Well, no, actually, they're in the fridge right now. I'm wet aging them for a day or two.
You what?
And then I'm wet aging them for a day or two.
How do you wet age them? Tell me this.
Well, basically, I'll seal them up, but just keep them away from air and just kind of let them age a little bit. If they're break down just a tiny bit so the meat's a little bit more tender.
And you're going to put them on a barbecue, or how are you going to cook them?
Sous vide.
What does that mean?
It's French fry, I believe, under seal. It's kind of like the new way to. It's kind of like one of the new ways to cook meat. You put it in a food saver or whatever, suck the air out. Of course, if you do that way, it freezes well. It'll keep for over a year. But if you pull it out, you put in the sous vide. It's in water, and the sous vide cooker. You can set it to a specific temperature, and it'll keep that at that exact temperature, and circulate the water. So it's almost like the ultimate slow cooker.
Wow, that's amazing, Clyde.
It is, and then when you're done, then you're done. Then you throw on the grill or sear it, just to get the nice Maillard reaction to it, so it looks like a steak. But it's really, really tender if you do it right.
Amazing. Clyde, we're going to wrap this up. It's been great speaking with you.
Okay.
Don't buy any more Panerais unless they're a bargain.
Okay.
I promise to you, if you do that, I'll stay away from IWCs. I won't buy any more.
Well, okay, define bargain. Now, you see, now you're leaving me a little wiggle room. You've opened the door a little bit. Before it was like, don't get it all. Okay, fine.
No, it's going to be a bargain. I think under 2,500 would be good.
No, you never see them for that.
2,800.
I got my. I mean,
you got yours for 29, didn't you?
29.50, and that was the cheapest.
Base zero.
Right.
That was a good buy. I would have bought that. I got to tell you, because it had box papers, everything. There was no question of it. You even went back to the original retailer.
I called the retailer on this. This is a different retailer. I called them that way, and they're like, "We have no way of verifying that." It's like, really? Not even? You can't pull up in your system if I have the serial number? And they're like, "No." Okay. But if let's just say I got it verified for 3,500, and it appears
35 is too high. We said 20, under three. Got to be three. Three is the magic number.
Okay.
Do you think you're going to be able to sell this stuff if you buy it for 3,500?
Yeah, I think so. I checked. Also checked under Fleabay and checked under, did an advanced search and for sold listings. And the fact is, unlike every other Panerai, they're not flooded.
I see what you're saying.
They only made it for a couple of years, and it was so popular they reissued it as an out of range for like Panerai Illuminati.
Okay, let's promise not to buy any more, and I won't buy any more IWCs. Is that a deal?
Deal.
Deal.
Are you, any bites on yours or not?
No, I have not had one fucking bite.
Well, you know, sometimes it takes a while, though. If I sell something on Craigslist, it'll be up there and it'll be nothing on it for days or weeks. Then all of a sudden, 5 people are killing themselves to get to it at the same time. I don't know how that works. It just always works out that way.
Okay, Clyde, great talking to you. See you later.
So don't buy the Panerai.
Don't buy the Panerai.
All right.
Great show.